Hey there, wizards. It's me, Wade the Wizard, and welcome to WIZARDOLOGY! I hope you enjoyed the opening hymn, One Step Beyond, by Madness. Because I feel like WIZARDOLOGY goes one step beyond. The topic of today's show, boop, beep, boop, boop. Look at that. There is no topic. Well, this could very well likely end in disaster. Basically, I wanted to open it up for questions, see if people are watching. We got 0 watchers, but I want to maybe talk a little bit about wizardology. What wizardology is. It's an atheist religion, so we don't currently believe in any of the religions that exist today. Well, I guess I can go into that a little more. I guess the main reason for me why I don't believe in any of the religions is because of evolution. Most religions talk about the creator, some God creating humans, and we know through evolution that we weren't created. We just evolved naturally. We're just evolved apes. Welcome to the show, my one viewer. If you have a question, put it down in the comments, or if you want to join the show, there's a link in the description. I was talking about the main reason why wizardology, why I'm an atheist, is because of evolution. It doesn't... All the current religions claim that there was some God that created life before, and we know that's not true. Now, there is, I think, room for skepticism in some other... I have other hypothesis that humans from the future developed... Alright, okay, well, let's see. Let me finish my thought here. Humans from the future developed some technologies like time travel, or, there's some way they can extract a conscious mind. I don't know what I'm saying. Are you afraid of death? Why or why not? I mean, I guess it's like I was saying, I think that I have room. There's a bit of room for skepticism as far as what exists beyond death. We might wake up and this whole thing was a simulation. Maybe we're immortal beings from the future, and we were sick and tired of living for so long, and we wanted to have a fun experience, so we got plugged into these bodies, and we're living a simulation. But I just try and... I don't know. I'm not... If this is the only existence, and after we die, then there's nothing... No, I guess I'm okay with death. Because when it comes to things that are outside of your control, there's really not much... There's no point in worrying about things that are outside your control. What are you going to do? You can't do anything. So death is one of those things that's beyond your control. I guess we can try and prolong it with medical science. What else to say about that? I had an interesting experience recently where I I don't know, maybe it's a little too personal, but I I thought that I might be dying. I was having kind of trouble breathing. I was kind of convulsing and having trouble breathing. It was a very scary moment, but I was kind of at peace, thinking that, you know what, I've lived a good life. This has been a good experience. One thing that's been on my mind also is, as far as like thinking about death. I think if we are living in a simulation and there is something afterlife, well, we're just enjoying this movie. Like, life is a movie. Life is the greatest movie. And in good movies, the main character goes through a wave or a whole range of emotions, happy and sad, and they go through difficult struggles. And you don't, like, maybe right now you might be struggling. I've definitely been feeling down recently. But that just might be the struggle that the main character goes through before the happy ending. So you got to watch the movie until the end before it ends. I guess one other thing I've been kind of thinking about that's been on my mind, as far as, well, you think about this. So this little kind of thought experiment kind of analogy. Some parents want to put their children through a sort of test to see what their true character is, their behavior is. And so they come up with this idea and they say, hey, there's this magical person who's watching you all the time, Santa Claus. And if you're a good person, then you'll get presents on a specific day. But if you're bad, then you'll get just a lump of coal. And so but if you think about it, the kid's behavior is not going to be genuine. It's not going to be true to, not a true test of their character, because they're just going to be good because they want presents. You can't really get a good sense of how they actually want to behave. So my hypothesis is, if there is something beyond this life, if there is some kind of greater power that wants to monitor our power, what a brilliant way to make it completely unknowable. There would be no amount of scientific evidence that could reveal the truth of it. Like, imagine you don't tell your children about Santa Claus, and you just monitor them. You don't tell them, and you've got a huge reward, better than all the Christmases combined. But and just like see what their true character is. Also, I think if I was a parent and I wanted to test the character of my children, maybe I would set up something to mislead them, like this Santa Claus myth. And I would say, oh, you know what? I would hope that my children are intelligent enough to realize that there's no evidence to support Santa Claus, and they would choose to not believe in Santa Claus. And so maybe that's, these religions come about. People invent these religions, and they think, that's kind of their Santa Claus. They're told that there is somebody watching. And so their behaviors are altered because they just want to get to heaven. But I would, if I was God or whatever, this higher power, I would think I would really value someone who has the logic and the intellect to recognize that not only is there not supporting evidence for a God, but there's evidence that contradicts the idea that there is God. Like I mentioned before, evolution And yeah, and that, I mean, that kind of goes along with faith. Faith is kind of an irrational. That's one of the things that most religions also teach, is that you need to believe in something without evidence. You need to have faith, but that's illogical. So I don't understand why a highly intelligent being would ask us to believe in something that doesn't exist. Well, anyway, this show went about as well as, or about as much as I anticipated. I appreciate Charlene. I appreciate you watching the show live. What else to say before I wrap this up? I guess I'll just keep it short and simple today. Give you some things to think about. Yeah, just the Wizardology. I guess. So the opening hymn. Hey, we got a second viewer. Ask me anything in the comments or follow the link in the description below. I was just about to talk about how Wizardology is an atheist religion, but we follow the teachings of Jesus Christ, namely, love thy neighbor, be kind to other people, except, like in the opening hymn, One Step Beyond, by Madness, we go one step further than Jesus Christ. We are kind to all sentient creatures. That means that we don't support factory farming and support the heinous crimes that happen in those terrible situations where sentient creatures, cows, chickens, pigs, are bred by the millions in captivity and live a tortured life only to be slaughtered. It's insane. And you know what? Like, there's plenty of plant-based proteins that can nourish our bodies. Oh, well, we lost our viewer. That's all right. Be kind to others. One last thought that has just been on my mind. I feel like you can't compare yourself to others. Like Einstein said, everyone's a genius, but if you compare a fish's ability to climb a tree, it'll spend its life thinking it's a failure. So don't compare yourself to others, and even don't compare yourself to yourself. Sometimes I think, oh man, I could have done more. I shouldn't be so lazy. I'm not as smart, but I'm comparing myself to some kind of hypothetical version of myself, you know. So I always feel like I'm doing my best. I try and think that and believe that. So do your best, live your best life. Focus on your mind, heart, and body. Balance your life, and live your best life possible. All right. Well, thanks for watching, and I'll see you every second Sunday at 3 p.m.